Hey there, I'm DJ, and this is Rising Through Concrete. Welcome back, you guys. And as always, I'm here to share with you who I am and what's going on here. My failures have created so many unforgettable experiences, and I'm ready to fill in those blanks with you all as we move forward. Look, as we look forward to pick careers or define our success, we have to play our roles in our lives first. It begins with us. So, as we're jumping into today's episode, let's take a deep breath and let's focus on where we are in this moment today. Question of the day is going to be something that, I thought I had an answer to it. I feel like I really do. I thought I was only going to have like one instance. Look, let's just get started, right? Question is, share a time when you really let someone down. As always, I want to hear what your responses are on our platforms. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, all of them. I'm sharing my perspective. I'm sharing what my experiences have been. It's not an easy one to respond to. When I think about a time when I've let someone down, it's not a specific scenario or it's not a specific time and space. I'm really just thinking about when I've hurt someone, whether it be intentional or unintentional. And I really have to take it back to even when I wasn't in that moment caring about how the other person felt, because I was more worried about myself. Not always the best version of me, especially sitting here now, being in a different place and growing as a person, right? We have sometimes those moments where it's about us, it's about where we want to move forward to and making a choice for ourselves. And thinking about it now, letting someone down, I can honestly say there have been so many times over where I feel like I have let my mother down. I feel like I have let my children down over and over again because I have not shown them the best version of me, because I'm always learning and I'm always trying to figure out how to take that step forward. When I'm doing that, I oftentimes early on fight the person I want to be and the person I am in that moment. So it's kind of hard to figure out like what the next step needs to look like. And I don't want to, early me didn't want to admit it. So it would just be me fighting it and just sitting in it for a moment. And now I'm to the point where, and I think it really happened more early high school. I was one of those people who took the time out and I would just laugh and joke with folk, and we would just go hang out. And I wasn't one to really hide too much from my mom, but I would tell her where I was. I would tell her what I was doing. I would tell her who I was hanging out with, who I was not even in a relationship with, because I didn't consider like relationships, but like who I was talking to. Yeah, I'm gonna use that term. Who I was talking to at the time, or who I had feelings for, or like whatever was happening socially, right? And it didn't have to be anything serious. It could just be something that was happening in that moment or whatever was going on. And it could throw me off. It could just misbalance things at the moment, but I could always share that and she would understand it. I think what ultimately kind of threw me off was sharing with her that I just did not feel like I was ready to really just push and be the great person that everybody else saw me to be. And I think ultimately that's when I feel like I let her down. And that was really in the space of pursuing STEM before it was STEM today. Like it's something phenomenal. It's something like above and beyond. But at the time, like, that's not really a thing, but my mom set me up in this great path in school that, I had the opportunity to be in accounting. I had an opportunity to take IT courses. I had the opportunity to really engage in classes that are not really offered as a collective as it was then. And to have all of those opportunities pulled together and really lean on the teachers and educators I had in high school was just phenomenal. And the start that I had before that at the previous school, I had, for the most part, was just amazing. So I think I had a really great foundation to work from. And I feel like it kind of got to a place in my life where everything was being set up for me and I just couldn't deal with the pressure, and I let her down at the end. Because I felt like she began to compare me. She began to set me up for something that I just could not obtain. I wasn't happy on that pathway because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. There were so many opportunities. There were so many great things that I could do and I knew how to do to the T. But I just did not know how to make that choice and really just pick one path and stick to it. And from it, I feel like I fell apart. Ultimately, I did, deal with it socially. On the back end, I felt like I kind of wavered a little bit. But I had other things to fall back on. And I was actually okay with it. Because there's always something for me to fall back on, right? In it, though, I think I landed on my feet. And from there, it took me where I needed to go. And from that, I'm here. It was such an intentional place to be that it wasn't easy for her. And I know it wasn't easy for me, but in the process, looking back now, like I've met some amazing people. I've gotten to build a different type of relationship with her. And, it's so weird because in the current line of work that I'm in, I've had teachers and educators that I've had see me and, geez, it makes me emotional. Gosh. Say that they're proud of me and that they knew I could do it. And it's weird because it's like, again, and y'all are going to get sick and tired of me saying it, but like, I was the rebel who kind of followed directions, but not really, right? And for them to say that and know the type of kid that I was, it hurts, but it helps. And I love it in a space where like it really puts things into perspective to know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and it feels good thoroughly. Because I wouldn't be doing anything else, and I know that right now. I know that right now in this space, no matter what I'm doing, I would not be doing anything else other than what I'm doing right now. So while I feel like I let her down then, I'm making her proud right now in the work that I'm doing because it means so much to me. And she sees that passion regardless. I think, my life has truly been impacted by it in so many ways that it's not just me. It's created such a rippling effect throughout my family, throughout my friends. I can't even find words for it, that it's bigger than me. And I think it's so much bigger than me that it scares the crap out of me. When I talk about social services, when I talk about helping others at their core. When I talk about things that most times people don't see as a subject matter expert, it scares them when they don't think about those nuances. And as we continue to kind of go down this road and you guys get to hear the show and we kind of have these conversations, let me know what parts of that you're really interested in. And I'll be more than happy to kind of really just talk through policies, talk through some of the programs. More specifically, though, through like the work programs and things like that and workforce development, because those are really, I would consider my babies. I could talk to y'all about that all day, but that's really, where I found the space that we oftentimes don't create enough space to share, that there has been so much growth and understanding. And I love it, and I notice myself lighting up when in that space, because we don't give enough people the opportunity to really just be themselves, right? So, the biggest person, I would say, just to answer the question, go back to the question, sharing a time when I really let someone down, it would have to be my mom. And when I let her down, I felt is when I didn't really, shoot off when she thought I was. And for me, I know I said it and you guys hear it in different places, but for me, I felt like that was my failure to launch. I feel like I could have and I should have, but I didn't. And why didn't I? And there were so many reasons. I've gotten to a space now where I've had the opportunity to build up and really learn who I am in other areas of my life that have truly allowed for me to strengthen who I am and where I am. So whatever I choose to do moving forward, I know it'll be done with a really, really strong foundation. And I know that whatever step I take forward, it's going to be done intentionally. And I have really great supports around me as I'm taking that step forward. So, man, I'm not going to drag this on anymore. I'm going to wrap this up. So in order for us to wrap this up, I'm going to pause right here. We're going to take this break and then we're going to come right back so that I can give you some words of wisdom, recap on that word of the week, because I know you guys saw it if you're following me on all of the wonderful platforms that you guys can find this wonderful podcast. And then from there, we're going to wrap this up. Hey, so we are back, and the question that we're working on today is share a time when you really let someone down. As always, I'm so excited and I'm so willing to kind of hear, what you guys have gone through. Share if you can, a time when you let somebody down. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. I'm interested, I'm eager. So, if you can, use the hashtag #RiseThroughConcretePodcast. Also, hashtag #BestSelf. You'll know why. I'll put that in the description as well. But, I'm really, really open to hearing you guys and what and when you've let someone down. It's not always the best feeling in the world, but it's something we most definitely can learn from. At a time when, we all can use the opportunity to just self-reflect and take a moment and pause. But I do want to wrap this one up. Let's pull this one together if we can. So now, what have I learned when letting someone down? It can be a positive experience. It's not always a positive experience, but it can be. It depends on our tone. It depends on where and what our true intentions are and how we're able to communicate that. I recognize that we all do make mistakes, and we most definitely can turn things around if we're given the opportunity to. And sometimes, I'm not always the best person to kind of be in a space and try to communicate that. I've been in situations where I've really messed up and I've screwed up over and over again. But, I don't try to let that get the best of me. You guys are going to hear sirens in the background, but bear with me. What I will say is take your chance. Put yourself out there and go forward and really, really mean it. If you're trying to really reconnect and build that bridge, if you have let someone down, or if someone let you down, the word I'll really share with you guys is grace. I believe it's really, really important. Grace is so important in times and spaces like this for so many reasons. The word of the week, though, that I want to share is trust. See, the episode came out today, so I know for a fact that y'all already knew the word of the week was going to be trust, or was already trust. So let me know how you will be looking for trust this week. Let me know, how you're going to help others trust, how you're going to help yourself find trust, or reconnect with the word trust this week. I'm super excited. I know I've already tried to start looking for it. It's going to be a thing. It's a whole journey this week. But let me know what it's going to be for you. That's how we can win. That is most definitely how we can win. We're going to use the word trust this week to really nail down and build those bridges and figure out how we can be a better version of ourselves. Next, challenge ourselves, right? If we are ever in the space where we're letting someone down, or we know it and we're kind of getting ahead of it, begin those steps. Begin the steps of really acknowledging what it looks like and what it feels like, and really get ahead of communicating how you can, work through it. It may be uncomfortable, but work through it. I know you guys got it. I'm wrapping this episode up, you guys. Let's continue the conversation online. As always, you guys are great. Let's continue to build strong foundations, rise with intention, and thrive with courage and confidence. And as always, I love you guys. We're going to reconnect next week.